Hello and welcome to my spoiler review of The Force Awakens. Now, The Force Awakens was just released a few days ago in cinemas, pretty much, I would say, worldwide right now. It was released, I believe, on December 16th, midnight, or December 17th in Europe and I think Australia slash New Zealand, or in the Oceania area. Oceania? I'm sorry. But it was also released in December 18th in the USA or the States, wherever. And basically, I'm going to be doing a review of that movie. I watched it in IMAX 3D at my local cinema. Well, I say local. I actually had to travel quite a fair bit to get there, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, oh my god, what a movie! I have to say, that is my first words on the phone. What a movie! But what can I really describe about the movie, to be honest? Firstly, I guess I'll talk about the main characters. Firstly, we have Rey, who is a supposed junker or something, very similar to how Luke's character is in A New Hope, which is something I'm going to divulge upon later, how similar this is to New Hope and how it uses a lot of heavy influenced material that was in episode 4. That could be a bad or a good thing depending on your view, and again, I will get into that later. So, first we'll talk about Rey. She's the female lead, so to say, of this movie, and she is probably one of the few major female leads that the Star Wars franchise has had. Sure, we had Princess Leia in the original trilogy, and I guess you could say Padme in the prequels, but I don't like to count the prequels in my mind. I just prefer to ignore them, get them out there. They're just pieces of shit. I may talk about them at some other point, but whatever. Then we have Finn, who is probably one of the first major characters to have racial diversity, should I say, as he is of black origin. They both perform stunning roles, Daisy Ridley as Rey, and John Boyega as Finn. They really bring a lot of great chemistry together, which I think is much needed after coming off of the back of the prequels. There's fantastic comedy. It probably has the best humour out of the series, I would say, because an original trilogy was known for having good humour at times, but the prequels were very bland when they tried to attempt the humour. So it's good getting to a new level field when we get to the new trilogy, which is great to see, I have to say. So alongside the new cast of characters, we also have returning characters, including Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill. Harrison Ford retains his role as the smuggler slash war hero Han Solo. Fantastic. He performs the role so well. It's great to see. He carries the film so much. It's just everyone wanted to see him in the film, and he literally does bring the chemistry together. He links all the characters together in the right places, and I think the movie is perfect with him. If it didn't have him, it just wouldn't have the same flair. Also, Chewbacca returning as his faithful companion, which is also good to see. And actually, Ace Chewbacca got a bigger role in this movie, which is very appreciative. Carrie Fisher, of course, returning now not only as Leia, but General Leia instead of Princess this time, which is good to see because she's going more away from the role of Princess as she was more strong towards generalization and military rather than more of a princess who's locked away in a castle or something like that, which is good to see because she's a stronger character. Uh, what can I go on to next? I guess I would go on to. No, I'll save it till the end. I suppose we'll talk about the villains now. Firstly, we have the major villain, Kylo Ren, who I fucking love Kylo Ren in this. I love him. He's so good. Adam Driver does it perfectly. He really does fill the role in perfectly for what he has to do. People complain about the movie saying he's not like Darth Vader. He's not supposed to be like Darth Vader. That's kind of the point of his character. the more that he's sort of like angsty. He's like Anakin when he was in Attack of the Clones. That's the sort of feeling we get here. But Adam Driver actually performed better in the role as Kylo Ren uh, rather than Hayden Christensen performed as Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones. There's return of many iconographies from the previous films, such as the Millennium Falcon as one, the X-Wing, that's another thing, TIE fighters, etc., etc. But I think one of the major things about iconographies and the amount of things that they brought back as throwbacks from the previous films or the previous installments of the original trilogy, mostly A New Hope, is the fact that A New Hope is kind of the story mold for The Force Awakens. There's a huge similarity there. The fact that we had the Death Star, a huge giant planet-sized superweapon that had the capabilities of solar system-wide destruction. So we had the Death Star, and now we have the Starkiller base, which is 4 times bigger roughly, and much more powerful. And then we also have many other themes as well. We have a desert planet. This time it's Jakku instead of Tatooine. We also have Rey as sort of like the desperate person on said desert planet who kinda works like Luke Skywalker. We then have Poe Dameron, which I forgot to mention. Poe Dameron is great. I love Oscar Isaac in that role. He performs so well. He's snarky, he's comedic, he's generally badass. He's the new generation Han Solo, which is good to see. Which is something I want to speak about later. It's good to see that in this movie, most of the roles, basically the older generation, such as Han Solo, Leia, they're passing on the torch to the newer generation, which is good to see. And we've still got 2 more movies of the trilogy to officially fully unlock the potential of said characters. Which, that's fine by me. I can't wait to see the next 2 movies. They're going to be great, hopefully. But now I want to get on to the spoilers. So I'll let you know now. Spoilers coming from this point on. I will probably leave a link to when the spoilers end in the description. But I don't know. We'll get on to that. Anyway, so one of the first major plot points of the story is that Han Solo and Princess Leia, or should I say General Leia in this case, have actually procreated and have a child who's called Ben Solo. Now, I'm pretty sure Ben Solo was in the expanded universe. I could be wrong on that, I'm not too sure. I never really did read much up on the expanded universe. But basically, spoilers here, Ben Solo is Kylo Ren. If you've seen the movie, obviously, you'll know that. If not, well, you shouldn't be watching if not. Basically, this is great to see as throughout the movie, Han and Leia you're very away from each other, I guess the word is. They're very split. The fact that they're no longer speaking together or next to each other in any way kind of shows that they are, well, no longer in a relationship, so to speak. And that's great to see, and hopefully that role will continue to affect Adam Driver's character as Kylo Ren in the upcoming 2 movies. But one of the biggest things is that fact that Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. Oh, it's such it's such a brilliant scene. That is all I can say. It's perfect for the way it adds to the tone of the movie. It's dark, it's gritty, it's very emotional, it's very gripping as well. It had my heart beating throughout the movie, and that's really what I wanted from the film, to really give me the feels. So basically, this is because Han wanted to turn Kylo Ren back to the light side of the Force. He wanted to make his own son see the side of reasoning. unfortunately, because of one of the bigger bad guys, Grandmaster Snoke, he was manipulating Kylo Ren from the beginning, and basically he's pushed him to the limit where he will completely hate his own family and revere Snoke himself, which is kind of what Snoke was going for. And basically, what? Never mind. Basically, Kylo Ren is still in training, which is something a lot of people got really mad at of the final fight between Ren and Rey and Finn. Ren and Rey and Finn. Ren and Rey and Finn. Ren, 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 Ren and Rey and Finn. Okay. Basically, people got annoyed about the fact that Rey has been an unexperienced new Jedi, only just getting to know her Force powers, somehow beat Kylo Ren, who was supposedly quite formidable when it comes to the Force. That's not true at all. Kylo Ren is not formidable in the Force at all. That's the point of his character. He's there to appear intimidating. That's why he wears the mask. He's there to appear as intimidating to his troops, to the people, to everything in particular, to the audience watching the movie. But the worst thing is that he's actually, yeah, he's kind of a pussy, but that's kind of the point of his character. He's emotionally conflicted. He's just very weak-minded. He's not very intimidating. He's afraid of the fact that he won't reach the strength of Vader, which is what he aspires to get to. And that is frankly what makes Kylo Ren so interesting, in my opinion. So, what else can we divulge about now? Really am kind of yammering on a bit. I'm trying to piece together the things. I guess I would say the fact that Han Solo's death leads to the fact that the newer characters are gonna take over and hopefully get more story and become more developed in the next two films that will be released in the upcoming years. But I think the last point I'm going to touch upon today in this review is the fact that Captain Phasma is kind of underused in this film. I say kind of heavily underused. Which is, she has a very Boba Fett feel to her character, you know, kind of a badass masked character that we don't know much about. The reason she's underused in this film is because she will be appearing in the next two films as a bigger role, much bigger role. And basically, I think that's good that they're keeping her role in the next two movies instead of just shoehorning everything into this movie, which would have made the film terrible in my opinion if they shoehorned everything in. So I'm glad they did that. And basically, I don't know, J.J. Abrams, who directed the film, said that Gwendolyn Christie, who plays Captain Phasma, he said that he really enjoyed working with her. She was probably the best person on the set he enjoyed working with in terms of actual character and how they perform the role. And he says that she's definitely going to have a bigger role in the upcoming two movies. Although I don't think J.J. Abrams is actually directing the next two movies. Could be wrong on that, but that's just what I've heard. And actually, finally, to end off, Luke Skywalker appearing at the end of the movie was fucking perfect. I don't give a little shit what you say. Oh, he's not in the movie long enough. No, it's perfect. It literally is justified. It's better that he kept him towards the end as they kept the mystery about him. It was more like Ben Kenobi at the end with the hood. Sort of old wise Jedi who's going to teach you in the ways of the Force and teach you all of the wise things that the Force has to offer. That's going to be perfect. He's definitely going to train Rey in the next film, and I'm glad that he kept him to the end at the end of this film. So we're going to see pretty much all of his backstory from the previous 30 years in Episode 8, which I'm glad to see. So that being all said, what would I give as my overall score out of 10 on the film? Well, upon coming out of the cinema, just literally as the movie ended and the credits were rolling, I did give it a 9.5 out of 10, near perfect. But coming back, that was obviously before I had a chance to gather my thoughts and actually, actually make constructive criticism. But I think I will give this movie a 9 out of 10. I take that 0.5 rating off. It's still damn good and fantastic for a Star Wars film. It has the feel of the original trilogy. The problem is it does have a lot, if not too much, inspiration from A New Hope with the Starkiller base, the trench run style of things, all that sort of stuff. But other than that, sorry about that. Other than that, it is a damn good film. It's well paced. The actors have great chemistry. The dialogue is fantastically written. Some people weren't a fan of the music score. Personally, I thought it was pretty decent. It's nothing that will beat the classics, but, well, it's still great in its own right. And I just have to say, genuinely likable characters and an actual interesting villain. So those are all my points. A 9 out of 10 solid review. And I think one last thing before I close off. I've said that a lot. The final thing to say before I close off, I'm going to put the films in ranking from worst Star Wars film to best. So in 7th place, I will put Attack of the Clones. In 6th place, I will put The Phantom Menace. In 5th place, I will put Revenge of the Sith, the best movie out of the prequels. In 4th place, I will put Return of the Jedi. In 3rd place, A New Hope. In 2nd place, The Force Awakens. And 1st place, The Empire Strikes Back. Force Awakens getting the 2nd best film of the franchise for me, mainly because it was everything A New Hope was, but better on a bigger scale. And I thought it was just better in general. Might not be as classic or as retro. It probably doesn't. It doesn't have the same feel as them, obviously. It's probably a subjective opinion of mine. But then again, it's just an opinion. Like this review is, it's just an opinion. If you enjoyed the movie, great. If you hated the movie, great as well. I guess it's all down to your view. But whatever. I guess I'll end this video now. I don't know how often I'm going to do movie reviews, but this is just my first brief look into the foray of them. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe possibly for more content in the future. So, goodbye! Yeah!